In this video, we're going to go over a couple questions on worksheet E-20. Let's begin. So this is all about finding surface area of stuff. Let's take a look at number one. Now, number one is a kind of prism. It's a rectangular prism. So we can do the nets, which is, we basically, well, here's the something like this, and then we've got two bases, and then the four faces that go with the two bases. So this is a base, and this is a base, and the rest of them are faces. I find it also useful, it'd be helpful if we just say, well, we've got two bases. I don't know what they are yet, but we've got two bases. And we've also got two more faces, which are going to be equal, like the left and the right, and also the front and the back, or the top and the bottom. So we have another two faces, and so we should maybe put the dimensions there. So first things first, we have to decide which ones are our bases. And frankly, it actually does not matter whether you think this side and the part behind it is the base, or you think the top and the bottom are the base. Or, this big part right here and the other side are the base. It really doesn't matter. But let's go ahead for consistency's sake and say, like, oh yeah, it's this thing right here. It's this part down here, this part right down here, and the part on top, that's the base. Those are the bases. So let's say those are the bases. What are the dimensions of those bases? Well, it's 3 and 10. So 3 and 10, and so if this is base times height, then that's just 3 times 10, which is 30, and we've got two of those, right? So that's 2 times 30, so that should be 60. All right, well, that's not our answer. I circled it just because it's an important number. Let's do the faces now. So one of our faces is, let's go ahead and focus on this big guy, this face right here. And there are two of them. So two of these faces, let's take a look. It's 5 and 10 is the base and the height. So write my formula, base times height, and it is 5 and 10. And that is 50. And of course there are two of them, so 2 times 50 is 100. So do need to add that. And then finally, that's the left and the right, and finally we did the top and the bottom. We said that was the base. Let's do the front and the back. So that would mean this part, the front and the back. So the front, that's 3, and the height, let's see, what is the height? Oh, the height is 5 because it says so right there. So 3 times 5. So base times height is our formula. It's 3 times 5, which is 15. Don't forget to multiply by 2 because there are two of them. That makes 30. So now we add up 60 plus 100 plus 30. That is 190, I believe. 190 what, though? That's not our full answer. 190 centimeters squared. So that's one way of doing it. You may also notice that, let's not get to that because that'll get confusing. Let's do number 2 now. Let's use blue ink this time. So we're doing number 2. We have a triangular prism because here are our triangle bases. There are two of them. Womp womp. Okay, triangular bases. So let's go ahead and draw. A triangle has 3 sides, so we've got 3 faces for our prism, and we've got 2 triangle sides. So 2 bases, 3 faces. We got to find the length of all of them. So the only thing, if I set it up, I have 2 bases, and then I have a face, and then another face, and another face. That's the way the triangular prisms go, is you really don't know if any of those faces are equal or not. So let's go ahead and start with our bases. How can you tell what's the base and the height of my base of my triangle? Because our formula is base times height divided by 2. And how do you know where the base and the height is? Well, take a look. This right angle right here, base and height, which is which, doesn't really matter. 10 times 24 divided by, whoops, that's not 24, that's 25. 10 times 24 divided by 2, that's what you're going to do. That is going to be 120. Now, if you multiply that by 2, you get 240. Look at that. All right, let's work on one of our bases. Let's go ahead and go with this front side right here. This guy right here. All right, so this base, let's take a look. We've got a base and height of 24 and 50. So BH, that's our formula. 24 times 50. I don't know what that is off the top of my head. So I'm going to use a calculator. 24 times 50. I got 1200 as my answer. So sticking with it. All right, let's go ahead and do another base or another face. So let's go do this guy right here. How about this one? That face right there. Okay, so it says that this side is 10, and the height of it, the height is 50, of course, because, well, that's what it is. So base times height, so it's going to be 10 times 50. Thankfully, I do know what this is off the top of my head. It's 500, friends. And finally, our last one. As you notice, the height of all of these is 50. Just got to figure out the base, and we are talking about the bottom piece right here. See this guy? That's the piece we're talking about. It looks like I'm basically highlighting the whole thing, but yeah, I'm talking about this guy right here. And the height is 50. The base is 26. So base times height is our formula. 26 times 50, which I don't know off the top of my head. So 26 times 50. Ooh, it is 1300. All right, so now I have my numbers. I have 240 plus 1200 plus 500 plus 1300. Let's add them all up. 500 plus 12 plus 240. And I got 3240. Hopefully I didn't make any calculator mistakes. But I got 3240. That is not my final answer because I forgot to include centimeters. And it's square because we're talking about area here. All right, we got one more example. One more example. Looks like we've got the an unfolded triangular prism because look at our bases. They're triangles that are totally equal, congruent, you might say. All right, so let's just say triangles. That's our two bases. I mean, you could also do the surface area of a composite figure, which is the same idea, but whatever. We've got two of those. And our base and our height is 2 and 4. So base times height divided by 2, that's 2 times 4 divided by 2, which equals 4. And then we got two of them, so really 8. All right, so we got these taken care of. That's 4 and that's 4. Let's do these squares now. Now, this is if you notice, this is 4, which means this is also 4, which means this is also 4, and this is also 4. So we've got these we've got this square right here, which is 4 by 4. Which is 16. So this guy right here is 16. Let's do this square over here, base and height of 4 and 4.5. 4 times 4.5, which is, I don't know what that is off the top of my head because I'm bad with decimals off the top of my head. That's 18. Ba-ba. One more piece. We've got 2 by 4. 2 by 4. So base times height. 2 times 4, which is 8. Now I have all the sides. I just add up 8 plus 16 plus 18 plus 4 plus 4, which is, I believe it is 50. Hopefully I didn't make any kind of grave error. All right, 50 what? 50 centimeters square, because we're talking about area. And that is how you do some of these problems. Go ahead and try some on your own.